I am on my way to get Mouse from his school, and then the girls. It is Monday afternoon, and it is very chilly again. It was really nice through Saturday, and then Sunday the temperature started to drop, and after the temperature dropped, we got a little bit of snow. I mean, it's a dusting, really. But it went from being in the 40s to being in the teens. So I found winter again. I have spent most of my afternoon winding yarn. My husband was joking that he was going to cut me free if I didn't manage to untangle myself before it was time to go to pick up the kids. I would not have let him cut me free. Don't worry. But I did have the yarn skein over both arms and was winding like that while watching videos. And he was getting a little concerned. I was trying to finish the ball before I left, but I didn't make it. And it's always so much more tangly if you have to set it down and then pick it back up again. So I will touch base with you again later. Today is violin, and I'm hoping to get a good amount of knitting done during violin, so that will be good. Bye. Hey everybody. It is Wednesday. It is about 10 o'clock, and we are going to the library, and then we are going to the post office, and then we're going to the yarn store, and then we're going to Walmart, which is also really like going to the bank, because that's primarily what I'm going for. So at the library, I need to get some general chart size measurement stuff. I have a design idea in my head, and it's been kicking around there for a while, and I want to get some standardized measurements. I think that I am going to make this, it's a dress for a little girl. I think that I'm going to make this in size 2, because that seems to be about what little giraffe would be wearing, based on the one measurement she would let me take, which was her chest, and what her mom said the doctor got for her height. So it took 3 people to get 2 measurements off one little girl. Anyone who's tried to measure a baby would know that this is about right. And I think it just makes sense to knit it a little bit bigger than she is, as opposed to, right at or close to at the size she is. Give her a little bit more time in it, and she is going to be my very first model for this design. Once I have it written up and knitted up, then I'm going to have a call out for test knitters. So we'll see. I'm hoping to, wow, we're slipping again. This device, this hands-free device is not so hands-free. I guess you get what you pay for. I'm thinking about a piece of tape. If I tape my vent so that it can't wiggle, that should stop the sliding. Of course, I don't have a piece of tape with me. And then when I get home today, I am going to record the podcast, because I am late. I think I'm going to try to go back to doing it on Monday. Tuesday just doesn't work. I kind of have a case of castonitis, so all the new things. One of the reasons I need to go to the yarn shop is I need a size 11 circular. Apparently, I have 13 and I have 10.5. If I think of it, the conversion sizes for metric will flash across the screen there. If I don't, I'm sorry. US sizes are weird. In any event, I have all the sizes near it and not that size. I probably have it in bamboo tucked away somewhere, but I don't remember that, where it is. And I don't really like working on bamboo, so off to the yarn shop I go. while I'm there, I'm hoping to also get some more Quince & Co. for the shawl, the 1840 shawl that I had been working on that I set aside because I ran out of yarn. And my initial plan for blending in some stash yarn did not work. They were not close enough. Okay, this is officially driving me absolutely batty. I need a better thing. Additionally, I'd like to get you a little higher up. I think the picture would be better. That may be vanity. This didn't used to be here. So I am wearing a woven shawl that my mother gave me. It is warm. I do have a coat with me because it's winter in Wisconsin, and sometimes cars don't do what they're supposed to. But it is actually warm enough. I don't know that I'd want to go for like a long walk with just the shawl over my tank top, but it's warm enough for just sitting in the car and running in and out of shops, and then I don't have to deal with a cane and a bag and a coat, because I hate wearing coats. So I'm going to sign off. Hello everyone, we're going to try this again, now with more tape. It is snowing again. It is Monday afternoon at about 10 to 3. It is roughly 10 degrees outside. We got about 6 inches of snow over the weekend, and the day was quite nice and pleasant. And I went inside after going to the cafe and meeting a friend of mine and having a lovely time. And then I hit the library and did the McDonald's on the way because I was really hungry. And that was a terrible idea, not only because it's McDonald's, it's a terrible idea. It's not exactly like it's healthy food or tasty food. But also because the chicken tasted like plastic. It had a very strange texture, didn't sit well, didn't taste good. So all in all, bad idea. But I've only been in this, I was only in the house for about 40 minutes. And in that time, the snow picked up, or the snow started, and it looks like, I'm going to check the weather, it looks like we're going to get a blizzard tonight. And if that is the case, I am not taking you girls to Miami. My husband can if he wants to. But I just don't think that, yeah, the roads are really slippery. I don't think that the extra hour of instruction is worth the risk out in the weather. And I am fairly good at the driving in the snow. I managed to get myself stuck and unstuck in the driveway this morning, which doesn't really indicate that I'm fairly good at driving, but I actually am. I don't want to do it. I don't want to risk it if something happens. I can't walk out of the situation. I mean, I can. If I have to, I will, but it's not quite the same when you're entering the situation knowing that your walking stamina is not great, and you're in a boot which is not in any way, shape, or form warm. It's warmer than the last one, so they're trying on that. But it's not waterproof. It collects the water. It's very difficult to walk in snow. Which is why I also shoveled part of my driveway today with the shovel in one hand, the cane in the other, leaning over, and I'm using a kitty shovel. It's just really awkward. But I got a path to my car, from my car, shoveled, and wow, is this slippery. Okay, yeah, I think I'm firm in my decision here. Hi everybody. We just dropped the kids off to school. And actually just sat here and played on Instagram for a while waiting for the school day to start with a cuddly little badger in the car who thinks there needs to be more cats on Instagram. I think it's probably just, who I'm following, but she wants more cats. So we are going to go home. We're going to get the dishes done and make some breakfast, and then we're going to spin. That is the plan for today. It's Tuesday. We probably should include things like vacuuming and sweeping the floor, but we're going to settle for getting the dishes done, and then we're going to start the crafting. Who knows what else will get done, but at least the dishes. The roads are lousy. They're covered in slippery, slidey slush. Last night, I made the executive decision that we were not doing violin. There was a brief look of panic on my husband's face when I said that I was not willing to drive them to violin because I thought that the roads were too bad. And he said, "Does that mean I have to?" And I said no. And then everything was fine, and he made scalloped potatoes. And I think that was the right call. They didn't officially cancel or anything, so my girls are now behind. But we had another 2 inches last night, and it was just steady for the rest of the evening. And not a good idea. I don't know if we were unprepared for this storm. I mean, this is Wisconsin, and we get weather all the time, and it's usually not a big deal. I don't know, it just seems like either this was particularly slippery or people weren't particularly prepared. I nearly got hit 5 times picking up the kids from school yesterday. And it was all people spacing not being right. They were trying to take a curve too tight, and then they lost control a bit. Things like that. And yeah, that is, sometimes you just slide. But either conditions or people or some combination thereof was making yesterday bad. And I have this theory that if the universe is trying to tell you that you should stay home, you should stay home. It doesn't really matter how important whatever it is that you have to go do is. Sometimes you really should just listen. For example, right now the universe is telling me I'm never making it through this intersection. There is a couple of universities in this town. A university and an extension school and a tech school. And one of them is right near where the kids go to school. They do a really good job of making certain that their students and anyone who happens to be near there are safe crossing this major main road in town. But it also means they block traffic quite often. So sometimes that intersection, especially right now, the elementary school is also letting in or letting out. It gets a little busy. So we're going to drive through our lovely snowy roads on our way home and to get the dishes done spinning done. Well, the dishes that get done spinning isn't going to get done because I probably only get to spin for 20 minutes and then rest my foot. I'm hoping to get more than one session of spinning done today. So we'll see how that turns out in the pictures. I don't know. Right now, my ankle feels pretty good. Of course, I still have to battle through all the snow in the driveway to get into the house, so I'll feel less good after that. It is very difficult walking in the snow. So difficult that when I left the house yesterday, I was shoveling with one hand, leaning on the cane with the other hand, which is really awkward. But I managed to get a shovel width's path carved for myself, which isn't really enough, but it was close enough. It made it easier. I can get to and from the car. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey everybody, it is Thursday and it is a little bit after 8 o'clock in the morning and we are on our way, sort of, to the doctor to see if today's two-shoe day. In theory, today is the day that I get out of the boot and that I graduate to 2 shoes. So I have my left shoe with me and I'm hoping decided to cut through downtown and get myself a cup of coffee. It is frosted cinnamon bun flavor. It is not just that it's cinnamony, it tastes like a frosted cinnamon bun. Not sure I'm a fan, but it is exactly as advertised, so there's that. The snow removal groups are out in force today because we're supposed to get a huge storm starting later tonight, and so they are down here with heavy machinery removing giant piles of snow, which was actually why we weren't doing like that. They had blocked off the traffic so that they could use an excavator to put the snow into a dump truck, block the entire road. I'm glad they got out of the way because I have enough time to get where I'm going, but I don't have time to just be stuck. And so I'm also taking this route. It's not this super most direct route, but I heard that there is a fiber studio over here that I didn't know about. It's in theory right here on this little bit of a road. I have to check it out Sunday when she's open, but her hours are like Friday for a couple of hours and Saturday for a couple of hours. So we'll see. Would be neat to have a fiber store here in town again, but with such limited hours, I suspect she's not actually a store. She's something else. It looked like she was offering some pretty basic classes, beginning spinning, that sort of thing, on her website. So it may not be of use, but I'm glad somebody's doing it in town. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I am now leaving the doctor's, and sorry. I am wearing 2 tennis shoes. The first step nearly caused me to crumple into a ball, but while it feels weird, it's not actually super painful. It's just really, really strange, and it feels weak, unstable, like I shouldn't trust it. If you've ever stepped out on like a pier and the boards were not really super solid, you put that foot down and you're like, I don't know if I should put my weight on this. That is what my ankle feels like right now. So we're now on our way home. He said it is very likely going to swell up, and it should be really aggressively nice again and keeping it up. In addition to walking and doing my normal stuff, that I shouldn't be surprised if it doesn't really like this at all. So, not looking forward to that. We did also solve the hiking question. Hiking boots. It said that because of the cost of hiking boots and the likelihood that my foot will change in size and my leg will get its muscles back, I shouldn't invest in hiking boots for 6 to 8 weeks. The extra support would be nice, but not at the expense of fancy hiking boots that I then can't wear again. So, Dan answers that. So, that is where we are. We are driving home wearing 2 shoes. A left shoe and a right shoe. That left shoe was feeling no love. So, I did do some spinning while sitting in his office, which he was completely enthralled by. Like, what are you doing? So, that was kind of cool. And I am going to go home and get some more spinning done and get some weaving done today. Just try not to curl with the ball and take a nap. Alright. We'll talk to you later. Bye. So we are driving into town, into the city, to pick up Nate and his girlfriend. And I thought I would see if I could record record some of the drive. Of course, I'm going to end up recording as being behind this red truck for the whole time, I guess. The kids had a snow day today. It was not, we got like 4 inches, maybe, if I'm being really generous. The neighboring school districts in County Homer and counties all around us were all supposed to get much more. And in fact, talking to family and friends in those areas, they did get much more than we did. And I think our school district just kind of, I don't know, bowed to some form of adult peer pressure, because the snow came down really slowly and really steadily overnight, and the guys who were working the plows and the salt trucks absolutely were on top of their job and had it clear. So the kids probably could have gone to school today, but they are content, for the most part, having a snow day and playing video games and playing board games and playing in the snow. So I guess that all works out. I got some spinning done last night. Actually more than I've gotten done in any single day since my injury, I think. Maybe not quite since my injury, but pretty close. But walking is just very strange and very painful, and I know it's going to get better, but it's frustrating to finally be free of a boot or a cast, and to not have the strength or the energy to want to do anything with that freedom, because I have twice now, about halfway through doing the dishes, had to stop and stand on one foot to finish the dishes. I am not a flamingo. This is not a good plan, but it was just hurting too much to put pressure down there. That the bones feel like they're moving weird, and I don't know. It's just not used to it, and it'll get better, but it's frustrating. It is very nice, however, to be called to dinner and get up immediately and go to dinner, or to decide I have to use the bathroom, and just to be able to get up and do that, or to get up and do that in the middle of the night without, waking everyone up with the sound of Velcro and straps, and, a couple of minute process in order to be able to do that. So that is a benefit. Like 6 more rows, I think, to do on the tank before I can start the separations for the armpit and the curve at the neckline. So that's exciting and fun. But I didn't get a lot of crafting done today. Like I said, I did a couple of loads of dishes, and I made lunch for the kids. I snuggled on the couch with Little Mouse, who noticed that I was hurting and crabby. And Little Mouse is 13 and nearly as tall as me, so he's not super little anymore, but he is very tender-hearted, and he noticed that I was crabby, and I really was. And so he came up and he sat down and he watched the video that I was watching on YouTube, which may or may not have been interesting to him. It wasn't about crafting, so that's a positive. It was a history program. And he just snuggled into me, and then about an hour later I woke up. So he's a good little man, and I love him. So apparently everyone is taking advantage of their being not very much school and stuff today. I heard lots of businesses were closed as well, at least in the counties around us. So there are lots of people on the roads today, which seems kind of backwards, but I also don't think it was really necessary. girlfriend for the first time today. She's coming to the house and is going to spend the night, and then we're taking her back to I do wish the house were a little cleaner for the first time that someone came. And the first time that someone met me. Especially someone who may end up being very important to my son. I don't know. But just, I didn't have the energy to do it myself today, and I didn't really have the energy to try to convince Con or threaten the children into doing it for me, so it didn't get done. And I was going to have the ladies over for crafting tonight, and I have bowed out of that. I'm not feeling up to it, and I knew that by the time I got done with driving almost an hour into the city and then an hour back, I would extra special not want to do anything else, so there's that. So I am going to stop talking, and I will let the video go for a few minutes here, but then I'm going to stop that too, because you don't want to watch the entire nearly hour drive. And if you do, there are videos for that, that's great. I don't know that this particular stretch at this particular time of year is all that scenic, however, so check back in with you later. Hi everybody. It is Sunday morning, almost Sunday noon, and I am hopping back on just to say goodbye and wrap up the video. We were supposed to get together with my parents this morning and go to church, and more snow happened. My parents actually, their street hadn't been plowed yet when they needed to leave. And so Dad spent a while with Mom standing on the porch holding everything, shoveling out the car, and looking down at the rest of his driveway going, I don't think I'm going to be able to make that. And then looking further and realizing that with the street not plowed, chances are a good chunk of the back roads that they take to get here would also not be plowed. We didn't get quite as much snow as they did, although it does continue to lightly snow. And our roads are plowed. So I think that once they got about halfway up, they would have been fine, but that is still a long time to drive without knowing whether or not your roads are plowed. And it could be that once they get out of their little community there, once they get onto the highway, it's still a county highway, so there's still a chance that they may have been working on bigger roads first. They might have been fine within, a couple blocks of the house, or it could have been really bad. So it would have been nice to see my parents and spend the day, but that didn't happen. So I am really monogamously working on the tank. I am in, I think this is the back left. Maybe it's the back right. Probably the back right side. I have armholes. Check it out, armholes. And I have, I think 20 more rows here, maybe not quite, until it's time to start doing some more shaping. So it's just more back and forth stockinette. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.